So over the last few days of as the transfer portal turns, we're starting to see a lot of players hit the portal that honestly is kind of shocking. And to be honest, one of the bigger problems with it is seeing a player like Malik Murphy hit the portal this early really shows a cause for concern with the transfer portal. And let's going to talk about that. Let's talk about what the big problem is with the portal and honestly why the NCAA can't fix it, because it's really a situation that is unfixable. And so this is the new normal of college football. You need to be prepared for it, get your minds wrapped around it. But I want to dive into some of these big entries in the portal and how this is really reshaping college football. Before we do that, welcome to Unfair Sports. I'm your host, Jay. Thank y'all for pulling up to the channel. Y'all know what it is. We like to drop some quick videos diving into college football. We focus a lot on OU football, but we talk college football in general, and we have a blast doing it. If you like the content, hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Notice a lot of y'all are watching the videos, but you're not subbed. We're at 13,000 subs, baby, and we'd love to get over to the 20,000 area so that we can just do this full time for you all, the people. But let's dive into the problems with the transfer portal and honestly why I really don't think that there's a fix for it. But we're going to try to talk ourselves into it, right? So let's dive into it, shall we? First and foremost, Texas backup quarterback, Malik Murphy hit the transfer portal end of last week. And when I saw that hit, it took me back, mainly because Texas is headed to the playoffs. They will be playing in less than 2 weeks in the playoffs and trying for a national championship, and their backup quarterback won't be in attendance. And the reason he's not going to be in attendance is because he kind of has to hit the portal right now, because if Texas does go to the national championship, guess what? The transfer portal's closed by the time that game's come, and he won't be able to go anywhere. This is where the calendar for the transfer portal is bad, and the calendar and everything with the transfer portal is just way off. Malik was a quarterback that was highly touted. A lot of schools want him. As you can see, his name is popping up with a lot of offers right now. He has to go to the portal right now if he wants to be at a school here in the spring in order to play and work his way in, either to lead the depth chart or at least understand the playbook before the next season comes around. And that's because he's an undergraduate transfer. If he was a grad transfer, no one would care when he leaves, because as a graduate, you've got your degree. You're just going to grad school somewhere. At that point, can't nobody stop you if you have eligibility. You can go ahead and go. But Malik doesn't have that. He's not at that age yet. He still probably has another year and a half before he can finish his degree. And because of that, he's not going to have the opportunity to wait to transfer or an opportunity to actually enjoy the spoils of the college football playoffs. Now, about him, he's known for being a company guy. You know, everyone loves him there at the school. The coaches talk highly of him. And he's even said it himself. He didn't want to leave yet. But he had no choice because the timing is so bad. And then you go into the next set of them. The last couple of days, you've seen players from USC just drop off the face of the earth. You got Malachi Nelson, the 5-star quarterback that Lincoln Riley was all into. He took him, brought him to Oklahoma first. Then when he took the job at USC, he decommitted and committed to USC. So he was the heir apparent to Caleb Williams. He is now in the transfer portal. He's gone. And then you've got defensive players, Domani Jackson, Tackett Curtis. He's gone. Mario Williams has hit the transfer portal, the wide receiver that was at Oklahoma and with Caleb and transferred to USC. Now that Caleb's gone, a lot of these pieces are falling apart around it, and you're seeing it mainly because the way the portal is structured, it's better to leave as soon as school is out than to stick around. Like with these players, they enter themselves into the portal, start their visits after finals week, and then make sure they get their commitment done before the beginning of the year, because once the bowl season starts, as those games fall off the mark, players will start hitting the portal. The dead period begins here on December 18th, which was Monday, and it ends mid-January. So with quiet period, it's going to be really tough for kids to be able to go anywhere and, you know, visit, because you can't. So when you see this list of players starting to hit the portal, it makes you ask the question, what in the heck can the NCAA do to fix this problem? And I'm going to keep it a buck. Because of the way that the school schedules go, what dates make sense? Like, now, I could totally see going from finals week to the beginning of the next semester. But the problem is not all schools follow the exact same schedule. That's where your problem comes in of having 133 teams in FBS and then the additional teams and another 400 total teams out there. Because you can't dictate a true time because so many schools have different time frames. And so because of that, we have to ask the question, what can the NCAA do to fix this problem? Now, if we really think about it, the better way would be to make it to where the transfer portal window is after the national championship, gives players the opportunity, if they're on that team, they can stick around and be a contributor to that team. And then at that point, if the school and they decide that, you're probably not going to be able to contribute, to go ahead and let you go. But the other thing to remember is a lot of these players, when it comes to the portal, don't leave just because they don't want to compete. A lot of the times they're told, you're probably not going to win. So probably your best interest hit the portal because schools want other players to replace that can come in with a new competitive spirit. That's why you won't see me on here really knocking transfer kids, because I understand the game's the game. In some situations, players recognize their worth and they want to go get a bigger bag. Do it, because only 1% of you make it to the NFL anyway, so you may as well take advantage of money today, because there's a good chance you ain't getting money tomorrow like that. The other thing is a lot of them do end up being processed out, where the team says, look, we've got some better players coming in as freshmen. We're looking at portal guys too. Probably your best interest to move on because you didn't live up to the expectations that we had. And so the kids go out there and try to find them places, in which that's why when you see the portal and you see so many kids enter them, like 3,000 is in there, maybe 1,000 gets picked up, 1,500, maybe half. 40 to 50% is the average right now. The other players just aren't going to play college football. Unfortunately, you get kind of weeded out. And that's something I don't like, while at the same time I understand. It eliminates a lot of debt weight for the teams as well. It gets rid of debt that's not truly debt for them, players that they don't expect to ever get a chance to play. So it's a give and a take. But I think with the transfer portal itself, one thing that they need to figure out is how to fix that window. Because you've got the window after the regular season, after the conference championship games, then you got that window in the spring. And with a lot of these players, they want to be a part of spring ball. That way they have an upper hand, because with high school players coming in as early enrollees, they're getting themselves kick-started early for a chance to actually play as freshmen. If they're in that system for that additional 6 months, changes the game. So if the NCAA wants to make this, I guess, a fair type setup, they've got to find a way to where these transfer portal players, like a Malik Murphy, like a Malachi Nelson, don't have to leave before their bowl game. They can actually stick around, enjoy the rest of the season, finish their obligations in NIL, and then go move on to the next place. But right now, the system is not conducive for that. But I'm done rambling. Hop in the comments. Let your boy know what's your thoughts. How y'all feeling about the portal? I know a lot of y'all don't like it. Me personally, I do. I actually appreciate, something to do in the deadest of dead periods, while at the same time understanding that these players deserve the opportunity to leave once, especially if their head coaches leave. They deserve the opportunity to move around and freely, since they can just get their scholarship taken away from them every year. Why not let them an opportunity to go find it for themselves? Made it this far, like the content, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Love for y'all to join this family of college football fans, talking a lot of OU football and college football in general, and having a blast. Do it. So, YouTube says check out one of these videos. I highly recommend it because I made it for you. And we'll talk soon. Peace.